Hi, you guys. Lady Rochelle here, author and founder of Warriors Talk, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is day 15 of the 31 days of breast cancer awareness facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I am so happy that we have made it to day 15, and I hope that you guys are learning something and that you have some extra information to put in your toolbox that you can use as it relates to breast cancer. And so tonight we're going to talk about some breast cancer myths and facts, because there's so much information going on out there about breast cancer and cancer in general. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the myths, and this is going to be a part 1 and part 2 series. I'm going to do half tonight and half tomorrow because I couldn't get through them all tonight. So our facts for tonight is going to talk about breast cancer myths and breast cancer facts. So let's go to number 1. The first myth is, if you don't have a family history of breast cancer, then you won't get breast cancer. And for this one, if you have been listening to me at least for the first 14 days, then you already know the answer to this one. So, all right, y'all ready? So the fact is, most people diagnosed with breast cancer have no family history of a hereditary link. So 85% of women who get breast cancer do not have a hereditary link. Anywhere from 5 to 10% is when they have that hereditary link. So just because no one in your family has breast cancer, that does not mean that you will not be diagnosed with breast cancer. So you still have to make sure that you are being breast self-aware and that you are knowing your own breast. And still talk to your family to see, because sometimes it may not be like an immediate family. It may be somebody down the line, and it doesn't matter if it's somebody in the family that has had cancer. You still count them. So whether it be a second, distant cousin, auntie, it doesn't matter. You still count it under your family history for breast cancer. So myth number 2 is, if you maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly, eat healthy, and limit alcohol, you don't have to worry about breast cancer. Now, we know that we should be at a healthy weight anyway. 70% of African American women are overweight, and we know that being overweight can cause a host of different problems and diseases. So we know that according to the American Heart Society, we should be exercising at least 30 minutes a day to 150 minutes a week. So that's something that we should be doing. Eating healthy, we should be having a healthy lifestyle anyway, period. So as far as limiting alcohol, we should not be drinking alcohol, because we already know that it does link to cancer, linked to cancer. And we know we shouldn't be smoking because that links to lung cancer. So if you're doing all of these things, then the myth is you do not have to worry about a breast cancer diagnosis. Let's check the facts. The fact says, although these behaviors can help lower your risk, then they won't eliminate it. So you can be doing all of these things, and guess what? You can still get a breast cancer diagnosis. But the key thing with this is it also, if you're eating healthy, if you're exercising, if you're not drinking or limiting your alcohol intake, then it can help with the lowering the risk or eliminating some of the other diseases as well. So it's not just to lower your risk for breast cancer. So although it will lower your risk, it will not eliminate it altogether. So you still should be eating healthy, exercising, and limiting your alcohol intake and not smoking. All right, so myth number 3, wearing a bra can cause cancer. Now, we all know bras can be uncomfortable at times. It's just like, I think men are the ones that are designing these bras and panties, because they're so uncomfortable, like really not made for a woman, right? And so sometimes when we get home, the first thing we do is we take off that bra and we let the girls fly because they're uncomfortable. Even the ones that have like that little wire in it, it's just really uncomfortable. It leaves a little mark underneath your breast. So, they're saying bras can cause breast cancer. That's the myth. So the fact says There's no evidence that bras can cause cancer. And although it was a study done that linked that if women, it was a study done back in, I think it was 2013, but it did not have a strong presence that wearing a bra actually caused breast cancer. But they were saying that maybe that they thought that they were saying that it would limit the restrict of the lymphatic system to, get the fluids going, and the fluids will build up and be toxic and turn into breast cancer in the tissue. So that's the study that was done. But again, they don't have anything permanent or anything that we can use to say, yeah, bras do cause breast cancer. So myth number 4 is if you are using antiperspirant, then it can cause cancer. And I know for this one, a lot of people do believe this. And I'm not going to say that I don't believe it, but I'm going to say that read the ingredients when you are shopping for any type of deodorant, because we know when you're rubbing it into your skin, that it's going to get underneath there, and if it's anything in there that's toxic, then it's going to get into your lymphatic system. So like aluminum, so if you see any out there with aluminum, just don't get it. Anything, what is it called, the power burns, don't get it. If it has it in there, then just don't get it, because they're saying that it could be a link to cancer. And when you're rubbing it in your skin, that it can get in your lymphatic system. So just be careful when you are getting deodorants. Just make sure you are reading the labels on them, that it doesn't have that aluminum in there. It doesn't have anything toxic in there that can get inside of your system. All right, so we are on number 5. So the 5th myth about breast cancer is carrying your cell phone in your bra can cause breast cancer. And I know a lot of ladies that probably do this, and it's like, what? You wouldn't think so. But they're saying that, let's see what they're saying before I give it away. They said there is no evidence of a connection between the cell phone and breast cancer, but they still say, the phone should be put in a safe place, and it really should be put on your breast. So, but it was a study done about the phone being, put up to our ear all the time, to say that it was a link to breast tumors, cancer tumors. But the study is still out on that too, so we don't even know. We do know that it has, they call it the radio frequencies, radiation that gives off in the cell phones. It's the risk of having brain tumors, but they're not saying that it's anything engraved. So be careful where you put your cell phone. Don't put it, by you ladies, don't put it here, and even men, because sometimes they may put it in your pocket up there. Don't put it inside of your bra next to. Don't do that. Don't do that. And try, when you have your phone, try not to do this. Do your speaker. Talk with your speaker instead of putting it up to your hair. And when you go to sleep at night, don't have your phone like right next to your head, because you're waiting on your sweetie to call or whatever. Don't put it next to your head. Put it, so many feet away from you. So if it is any type of radio frequencies, radiation given off, every night that you're putting it there, it's not penetrating into your scalp. All right. This was a quick one tonight. So myth number 6 says consuming too much sugar causes breast cancer. And I know a lot of people that go around saying that sugar, cancer feeds on sugar. If you ask a lot of people, they would say the same thing, that if you are consuming sugar, that you should cut out your sugar. Don't eat any sugar at all, because especially if you have had a cancer diagnosis or if you are in cancer treatment, then you should not be eating sugar, because guess what? It's going to help those cancer cells grow really fast, and you're going to be out of here. So the fact says there's no evidence that sugar in the diet causes breast cancer. That's what they say, right? I'm just reading. This is a fact. That's what I'm reading. It says a common myth that sugar can feed the cancer and speed up the growth, but all cells, whether cancerous or healthy, use sugar in the blood, which is glucose, as fuel. So whether it's a cancer cell or a regular cell, it uses sugar as fuel. It says while it's true that cancer cells consume sugar more quickly than normal cells, it isn't evidence that excessive sugar consumption causes cancer. So I know that that's a big myth out there, and I think probably more study needs to be done on that one too, because a lot of people seem to think that sugar is a direct link to cancer. And I think just understanding that, whatever we eat is going to break down into sugar because that gives us our fuel. So it's like, how do you eliminate sugar out of your diet altogether? Like, how do you do that when everything you eat breaks down into sugar to give you that fuel, to give you that energy? So the best thing you can do is make sure that you're eating things that are healthy, that's going to give you maybe less sugar in it so that you won't have to worry about the overconsumption of sugar. So that's the best I can come up with. So just eating a healthy diet, but keep in mind that everything we eat is going to break down into sugar, which is that glucose that we need for fuel. All right, so I just gave you 6 myths and facts about breast cancer, and it's so many rumors and so many different things going on out there about breast cancer, just cancer in general. But I just want you to get the facts so that you won't be walking around thinking that XYZ causes cancer, and it really doesn't. So the doctors don't really even know what caused cancer, because when I was diagnosed, it was like, we don't know where it came from. So if they knew, then they would know how to cure it. So all right, so my source came from, because I didn't make it all myself, it came from breastcancer.org. Again, this is your 31 days of breast cancer awareness facts from Warriors Talk, and I've been doing it for the last 15 days. I'm going to do it all the way up until October the 31st. So come back tomorrow, which is the 16th, and we're going to do the second half of the breast cancer myths and facts, and tomorrow is some good ones. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in to this special edition of Warriors Talk, and it is my prayer that you are getting some good information that you can use or you can share with someone else. Share the video out, like the video, and I will see you tomorrow. This is author and founder Lady Rochelle with Warriors Talk, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time. See you tomorrow.